Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Thursday, February 29th. Oh my gosh, it's a leap year. Oh, how about that? If you were born on the 29th, would you then on the other years choose the 28th or March 1st? Anyone who was born on the 29th of February, give us a holler. We'd love to hear from you. What do you do? If you've got a financial question, you should go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. We'll get your note. Don't forget to let us know if you want to join us on the show or on our video show called Jill on Money, powered by the Compound. There are links to everything on our website, as well as an ability to buy The Great Money Reset. That's my book, and it's out in paperback. And it's really based on all of our conversations that we've had over the years with you guys. Today, we are talking to Susan, who's on the line from Georgia.
I've been a long-time Jill on Money listener, I guess I would call it. I started a little prior to the pandemic when y'all went to daily, but then have kind of dove in headfirst into the Jill on Money world, and went back and listened to all the prior episodes as a goal for myself. And the last couple of weeks of December, I think, and then one of the videos on the Compound, you were commenting, I guess I would say, about the people who had 18 different funds in their either 401k or their IRA or whatever it was. And it was a repeated theme a couple of different times. And so it hit me like I've been kind of focused on bigger picture things per Ed Slott and Mark, about conversions and things like that. And I probably have between individual stocks and funds like 30 or 40 funds. Wow. Across the different types of accounts. And then I know I have a widowed mother who is elderly, and I know that I will be inheriting some things from her. So I will probably, because she has some overlap of the things I have, but then she has things I don't have. So it'll probably be like 50 or 60. I don't even know.
Come on.
And a lot of it is, overlapping funds that either mimic each other, because I had a bunch of rollover IRAs, and I had, like a Vanguard from one company and a Fidelity from another company. And then I opened a Schwab. And so it was kind of what was their fund.
Okay, hold on, sense? Susan. I'm going to interrupt for a second. So
That's
let's get to some basics. How old are you?
56.
Are you married or single or partnered?
I'm single.
Once we clean this up, we're going to get her partnered up because we need to, she'll have 4 or 5 funds. It'll be a much cleaner story to sell. I'm totally kidding. How old is your mom?
86.
Okay. Are you still working, Susan?
I am sort of part-time. I'm in a somewhat of a sandwich with an 86-year-old mother and a daughter who just turned 18. Oh,
okay. 18-year-old daughter. What's daughter doing?
She just started her first semester of college, January 9th.
All right. That's awesome. Congratulations. How are you paying for college, or how is she paying for college?
Well, she/me, we have been blessed with grandparents who contributed to a 529. And she is currently going to like the community college in my town and living at home.
Oh, God, I love this
girl.
So
tuition was not very expensive at all.
How much money's in the 529 right now?
About 85.
Okay, great. When you said you work part-time, how much do you earn?
About 40.
Does mom live with you, or she's on her own? Okay.
She's on her own.
And nearby, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, about 30 minutes away.
Okay. But she can take care of herself?
As of right now, yes.
That doesn't sound like wildly encouraging. As of right now, and any minute it's going to be your house, or what?
No, not quite. But I go and do a lot of stuff around her house for her because she's just not, physically, I don't want her on ladders. I don't want her doing certain things because she's 86 years old.
Does she drive?
She still drives, but that's becoming more of a questionable thing. Okay.
Can I tell you this? I'm on the phone with my mother today before the show starts, and my mom's 84. And she said to me, I got into a fender bender on the Henry Hudson Parkway. I was in bumper-to-bumper traffic. My mother's a terrible driver for 65 years of bad driving. So I said to her, Mom, it's enough already with the driving. You don't have to drive into the city and da-da-da-da. She goes on to tell me how much it costs to fix the fender bender. I'm like, that's a lot of trips to New York City and Uber. You know,
Right.
So I am very hyper focused on this issue since I am touched by it myself. And as a woman in her 50s, all of your friends, I'm sure if you have a parent who is alive, you're all facing this same question. It's like, why are we letting this happen? This seems very dangerous. It's, it's crazy. It's funny. My aunt and uncle are in town from Australia. My aunt says that when you turn 80 in Australia, you have to take a driver's test every year.
Oh, I'm all for that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That would be good.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
So, Susan, how much money have you socked away in retirement? Give us the retirement amount and then
About $1 million.
Great.
In retirement
Okay.
between traditional and Roth,
Okay.
and then a little over 350 in non-qual.
Okay. Non-qualified. Susan using a little bit of the lingo.
And she's single.
Yes. I'm liking this.
Yeah, some of this you might want to edit. I can give you percentages instead.
No, that's good. That's good. Wait a second. So you have the 40 grand in part-time income. Is that enough to support you, or do you have to dip into these accounts?
Well, I was until December 31st was getting child support.
Aha.
And so between those, I was kind of making it work, and I was dipping into the brokerage account just for extra things.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yes, of course. So now, just to be clear, now how much money do you think you need to pull from the brokerage account? About?
Probably 20, 25.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have money in cash also, just bank money, safe money, money market?
Yeah, I've got a little over 20. I had my furnace and my refrigerator both break in December, so that went down a little bit. And then I've also had to pay my estimated taxes, because that's the other thing that I've been doing is per Ed slot. And even prior to Ed slot, I've been converting from my traditional to my Roth, because I'm currently in a really low tax bracket and I'm head of household.
Oh.
So I've got some wiggle room there.
Yep.
To convert while I'm in this low bracket. So I've been moving money from my traditional to my Roth, and then I'm pulling from either my emergency fund-ish money or selling stuff in my brokerage to cover the estimated taxes.
Okay, but when you're selling in the brokerage, are you actually triggering a long-term capital gain when you're doing that usually?
It depends on how much I've converted, because partially it's 0% capital gains.
Right.
And then occasionally, depending on how much I've converted and how closely I've kind of hit it, sometimes it pops into the 15%.
I'm not worried about paying 15%, but this is also, right? And in some respects, I almost so in that brokerage account, how many different funds and stocks do you have?
Ooh.
About
20.
Come on.
These are funds or individual stocks?
In the brokerage, it's mostly individual stocks.
Why do you have all these individual stocks? Are you a maven? Are you a listener of the Compound and Friends?
Similar to my children being, because I have a son as well, similar to my children being blessed with 529s. Way before 529s, I had grandparents who did UTMAs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that was my college money. And then what was left was mine to do with as I chose. And then some first jobs I did ESPPs. And so it was kind of a combination of that. But I hired a financial advisor in the early 90s who did individual stock picks.
Okay. But you're managing this all yourself now, right?
I mean, yes. She actually retired. And so I took it over and did it myself. And then since then, I've just bought ETFs, no more individual stocks. But I haven't sold a lot of the stuff that I've held.
Mark, what do you think about this? This is all fascinating to me. So just to be, let's run down these. So, last question. How much money does mom have?
A lot.
A lot? Like 5 million or 10 million?
No, well, not that much.
That's a lot to me.
I would probably say 3.
3.
That's good.
You have
All right,
And
Mark.
siblings?
half of it will come to me.
Yeah.
All right.
But still, we do not want your mom to make any changes with all of those stocks. I'll tell you why. Do you know how cost basis works upon
Right.
death?
I'll get the step up. Yeah.
Yes. So for everyone listening, you don't like to mess around with someone who's 86-year-old account unless there's something really bad going on, because upon death, you as the person who inherits the money gets a step up in cost basis. The date of death valuation of that asset is where you're triggering your cost basis. So that's when you can clean all of her stuff up. For your brokerage, I mean, Mark, what should she do about all these different individual stocks?
It's not the way I operate. It's way too many for my liking. It would drive me nuts. I really would need to really look at them and see what the cost basis is, if there's any losses.
Are there any losses? No, there can't be.
No.
It's from 100 years
no
ago.
losses.
Well-
and that's there have been through the years, there have been a couple of small losses, and I've sold a couple things here and there to get cash to do some of the other things. But for the most part, I've held them for 25 years. They're all gains.
Can you sell any of these things and still stay in the 0 or 15% tax bracket?
Yes. And also it depends on how much I convert of my Roth controls how much I can stay in the 0%. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, as you're selling things to pay for these conversions, I would try and start eliminating some of these stocks. How many funds? You said you've been adding index funds along the way. How many funds do you have?
Right. I only have, I don't think I have any index funds in my regular brokerage. Those are all in my Roth and my traditional.
So the brokerage is 100% individual stocks.
Yes.
I don't know what to say about this. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because there's obviously tax consequences.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
Look, I never like to let the tax tail wag the investment dog. However, I think that you're now onto this as like a general strategy so that if you are pulling out 20 to 25 grand a year in terms of like your need, that could be the way that you start cleaning it up, is that little by little you start getting rid of some of these holdings. I'm wondering about the Roth conversion, though, to be honest with you. How much is Roth, how much is traditional right now of the million?
Right now, because I've been converting for the last probably 5 years, just shy of 6 is the Roth and about 425 is the traditional.
Mark, how would you feel about her stopping that right now?
I'm fine, because I feel like this brokerage account, she kind of needs it to live on.
Yeah, we need that money right now. So I think that we stop doing the conversion. I get that you did it.
Really?
Yeah. I think that that's actually what we've uncovered is the real issue. And that is that, yes, you want to clean these accounts up, but I'm not worried about you long term. You're going to get $1.5 million from your mother, or maybe something less, $1 million, depending, on what happens. You have money. I think that the brokerage account, as you start selling those assets to clean it up, you want to make sure you have enough money. So again, the beginning of the year, you're going to need 20 or 25 grand. You can free up 20 to 25 grand, sell those stocks that you need to sell. You'll hopefully clean stuff up along the way, and you'll live on that to supplement what essentially the finished child support payment. You'll be like taking that from your brokerage account. And you're fine. You're good. Like, we can pull money out of your traditional account 5 or 6 years from now. Really 4.5. But, we don't have to worry about this. You've done the hard work right now.
She's done a good chunk of conversions as is.
Exactly.
600,000 in Roth, 400 pre-tax. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want to deplete the
brokerage account. Yeah, we need that brokerage account to stay intact. And you can watch yourself and again, you're in a low tax bracket, so you can sell stuff and you will still be selling long-term capital gains, hopefully mostly at the 0%, a little bit at 15%. You don't have to go crazy and do this all at once, Susan.
So you'd sell and just hold it in cash for now.
Yeah, for those, you need $2,000 a month, right? You need that to live
Right.
on. You came on and talking about all the different funds. We went into your Roth conversion strategy. So I want to leave you with this, Susan. Oftentimes when people come on the air, one issue is raised and we uncover another. So I think that what we're now saying to you is, look, you've done an amazing job converting. You've got all that money. You've paid the tax on it. Terrific. Now, next step. let's make sure that your brokerage account, you free up the money you need for your cash flow on an annual basis. You've got to be able to do that. That's great. Don't sell as you need the money. Figure out what you need from this account. Free it up now so that you don't have to worry about stocks going up or down. You know what your liability is, and do that on an annual basis. And you will clean things up just like that. One last thing, Susan. Have you and your mom both done your estate planning?
Yes, for both of us. I know hers is outdated. She did it right after my father passed in 2007. So hers probably needs to be updated. And mine, now that my children are both adults, probably needs to be updated. But yes, we both have documents in place.
What do you have? One other thing, Mark?
Yeah, I was going to say just before we wrap up, in terms of cleaning things up in those tax deferred accounts, you can do that now.
Right. That is exactly right. So let's make sure we do that.
The goal should be 4 or 5 funds. That's it.
Yes.
Okay. So I should just start going in and just sell. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to find the perfect time to do it. So just do it.
Just do it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, see, and I was kind of like, well, it's okay that all these rollovers rolled in with shares. It's okay to keep all these different funds because it's not hurting me in any way.
Well, it's not hurting you, but it's like clean it up.
Yeah.
It's very inefficient. I'm sure. I think you said it at the beginning of the call. There's probably a lot of overlap in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there definitely is. I pulled them up and I've got like VOO and SPY and QQQ and IVV and VTI.
Yeah,
they're all they're all overlapping each other.
We're ready
for sure.
to move on. If you've got a financial question, if you're thinking about a big change, if you've had a big life event, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button. We'll get your note. Don't forget to let us know if you want to join us live, which is a lot more fun. You can tell. It's because we can ask follow-up questions and really get into what's going on. Mark Talerce was the co-host and executive producer, as well as the king of all things web at JillOnMoney.com. We're distributed by Paramount Global. We drop our episodes every Tuesday and Thursday, and we always like to remind you to try to lift someone up, change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.